Here you go. Welcome to the first ever UE video impressions video. We're going to be talking about Madden 16 today. I'm joined by my fellow colleagues here. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves to YouTube.
All right, what up, everybody? This is Daryl, Gamertag UE. Show me proof.
Show me proof.
Jason, Gamertag UE2 paid.
Mark, Gamertag iSilent Guardian.
And Stuart, known as UE Stu Digger, the only Packers fan in the group.
All right. See now that wasn't necessary. So we didn't have to. We had to know all that. If you're throwing teams out there watching the Redskins, since the day I die, that's. I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, then we can talk about that. We'll lead up to the end of the video. So like I said, we're here to talk about Madden 16. We all got a chance to play a little bit of it. What video you see up here now is a little bit of some gameplay that we recorded from the past few days playing the game. We're going to start our discussion now by talking about the graphics. Guys, what do you guys think about so far what you've seen graphically from Madden 16?
Well, from the beginning, from the title screen, way much better than last year. That's all. I mean, it looks real. Like you actually watching Odell Beckham right there. But
yeah, I like it too.
Even though I'm not a Giants fan, I can't stand them. But yeah, it looks real.
Yeah, I think the detail is great.
Go ahead, Mark.
I think it's a huge step forward from last year, just on the sharpness and the quality of everything looks. A few times I'm playing and I kind of taken it back. It looks real for a couple seconds.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, for me personally, one thing that stuck out to me was the lighting. It looks a lot better, especially when it comes to the reflections of the skin, the helmets. I know the Madden 15 has some good things going for it, but it's just a little nuances in this game that takes it up a notch. Now I know there's some that's going to say it doesn't look that different, and if you're watching on a video, sometimes, especially depends on the quality of YouTube you're watching, you may not see it. But when you play the game, you actually see the quality and the detail. I mean, they definitely did a good job, and I was impressed with the differences between this year and last year.
Another thing
I agree. Even when it comes to the details in the shoes and everything, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I appreciate the guys. More guys are licensing their tattoos, so that looks good too.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed was the crowds. On the sidelines, you actually see. Everybody's not wearing shorts and short sleeves when it's raining and snowing.
Yeah, that was one thing we talked about last year about how annoying that was. I mean, it's something small, but when we're talking about the immersion of the game, if you see coaches on the sidelines wearing T-shirts and it's supposedly snowing outside, it kind of throws off some of the realism.
They've even updated the players on the sideline. It may be less players than it was last year, but the players that are there are the actual players, and not just 00 sitting on the sideline.
right, exactly. We got mannequins on the sideline on Madden 15, But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Have any of you got a chance to play any type of weather games? Kind of see how that changed?
Just played a cloudy game, and it was nice. It was like normal, like last year's. It wasn't too much difference. I haven't played any rain or snow. I've seen it, but I haven't played it myself. But one thing I hope they fix is how if you're wearing a white jersey in the snow, you couldn't keep up. It was just too bright. So I hope they did something to dim the jerseys a little, or tone it down some, so that you could be more recognizable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. What do you guys think about the crowd? I know one of the things they tried to say was that they worked on a crowd, the immersion portion of the game, because to me, FIFA sets the standard when it comes to the way crowds are, their interaction with the game is going on. there's no real comparison. But I remember reading an article saying that they specifically tried to focus on that in this Madden. Do you guys see a difference in that?
Actually, I do. I see women in the crowd. So I mean that's good because I mean there's a lot of women that are football fans. So it's a good diverse group. That they're showing.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
I've noticed that they're actually wearing NFL licensed apparel.
Oh, really?
I've noticed that they said they're working on that, and just the overall stadium music and crowd atmosphere has actually been a step up in certain situations in the game. If you're the road team and it's a tight game, you feel that the crowd is on you.
Yeah, I see a lot of improvements, even like on the audio side. Like it just feels way more like you're immersed in the game, a lot more.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed too, you can probably see in the video, there's signs in the crowd now. I haven't actually got to a point where I can actually read them, but you actually see signs. You can see the towels waving. It looks like it's something where the excitement level in the crowd can kind of enhance you a little bit in terms of the game, especially under tough game time situations where the crowd is involved and you kind of get amped up, you get that chill in your spine knowing that you got to make a play. All that kind of culminates into something that you can enjoy. So I definitely agree that they did make a step up, and it's something that they basically did a good job in. What about the animations? You guys see anything there that you liked?
Tackling is a lot better. Gang tackling is 10 times better than last year, man. Another thing is also like when the cornerbacks make plays on the ball, like it looks more realistic. It's less robotic.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of the times you would see them snap into place, and you would try to figure out how did that happen. But now you can see them actually planting their feet and even turning their head sometimes. It's a lot more detail.
Mm-hmm. I think that kind of falls directly into the gameplay portion of the game when it comes to player movement. Because remember, I was talking to you guys beforehand about how I don't like when I see Madden has players moonwalk into place, especially like when they're coming up to the line. I want to see them come up to the line and make a stop. I don't want to see them stop their animation and then slide into place. That kind of thing kind of takes away some of the realism of the game. But I've seen a lot of improvement in that. Especially when it comes to making cuts, making movement. You got to be much more deliberate when you want to hit a hole as a running back. You can't just kind of arcade-like automatically switch directions. Your guy has to plant his foot, make the decision to make the movement. And sometimes that split second it takes to show the animation is what gets you tackled. But that is how it is in real life. And I think that is what the difference is in this game between last year's.
And another thing I noticed, the jump snap is not as effective as it was last year. In the last Madden, you could just jump snap all game and get 9 or 10 sacks,
Oh yeah.
This Madden, it's a lot different. You may get one, but you won't get consecutive jump snaps. You won't get it, and that's good because it's like now you're starting to see more realistic stats. You don't see 55 to zip or 72 to 3. None of those type scores. So,
well, I'm sure in about 2 or 3 months we're going to see somebody pull up those type of numbers.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, as everybody gets used to it.
But for now, it's a nice look.
Right. Well, I definitely agree with you there. What about like the AI of the game?
I feel like it's improved a little bit. Defenders are not like as precise when it comes to running zones in certain situations. Like you get beat over the top. Like you could kind of run a route over a hook zone, but that was kind of OP last year. Like you couldn't run over a hook zone. Like guys would just jump 10 feet in the air and swat it away. You're trying to figure out how that happened, but like different things, like the offensive line is a little bit better. Still like messes up in certain areas of the game. Like they won't double team certain people, certain defensive linemen, but it's gotten a little bit better.
Yeah.
Still little things need to be worked on.
I feel like they toned down the block shedding. I know that last year that was a big problem, especially with tight ends and wide receivers. They had to get thrown to the side on the quickness with a 150-pound DB.
Yeah, that's true.
I also noticed, as Jason was saying about the defenders getting mixed up in zones. I was playing a game and there was on the goal line and they were playing cover 2 and the cornerback and safety kind of got confused and ran into each other. And my dude was wide open on the outside, but it was definitely a miscommunication on their part, and I feel like that's been put in the game intentionally.
Right. I mean, I think that's a great idea. I mean, it's a great feature to have. And I know I was discussing with you guys before. I saw a video of a situation when there was someone threw a very nice, I'm not sure if it was a curl route or was it like a out route, but it was a play where the wide receiver caught a ball with another wide receiver in the vicinity. And from the replay, it showed the wide receiver catch the ball, and that second wide receiver that did not catch the football noticed that and went in and made a block immediately after that. I mean, I like seeing those little things like that. Those are kind of things that help you make plays, but also those are kind of things that you're supposed to do in a game of football. Your wide receiver is supposed to try to make a block, to try to get your guy extra yards. And it was one of those things that didn't look mechanical. It didn't look like he locked onto him. He kind of ran up and tried to make a block. I mean, those type of things, can mean a lot when it comes to a game and its realism.
Right.
So, what about this new thing that we've been kind of see about penalties? I know that when I played the game, I had a situation where I had a couple of my guys jump the snap when I didn't do anything to make them overreact, or when they do false starts on their own. I'm not a big fan of that. I understand that the game itself is trying to be real in terms of players doing that, but if I don't initiate it, if I don't make that mistake, I'm not sure I like the fact that the game is making that mistake for my players. I mean, what do you guys feel about that?
Well, with that, I think that's more so of a glitch because they don't. They're just walking to the huddle. They're not. Nothing's happening, and they call it. So I think that's probably something that's more of a glitch that will probably be fixed in a patch later down the road. But I haven't seen a lot of penalties in the games that I played. I know they're there, but I haven't seen a lot of pass interference calls or I've seen a couple offside calls and holding calls, but nothing too major right now. But I mean, I've watched other videos and I've seen it in other people's videos, but not since I've been playing. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, like with those not the pass interference, but the false starts or the offsides. Like a lot of times it's before they even get set on the actual line of scrimmage, and like it just seems like they're just trying to throw it in there, kind of just to make it seem like it. I'm saying penalties do happen in Madden 16. Also, another issue that I've had is my wide receiver getting knocked off routes, and pass interference not being called. Like that's a huge issue with me.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple times with me.
Yeah, especially on like crossing routes or like even like I've seen it on a curl route. It's weird. It just doesn't make sense to me. So hopefully
With the game we had, Jason.
Girl know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it happens every time.
Yeah, I think your audio's going out, Jay. But yeah, I do understand that because that's something that I've seen as well. The corner is putting a little bit of nudges on your wide receivers well beyond the limit where they should be, and that's not getting called. But at the same time, I mean, I'm sure that's something they have to work on, and it'll probably be addressed as others see that this is something that is happening consistently. So
Another thing I noticed too, when your receiver catches the ball, the lightest tap and they're dropping it, or they're not catching it, or they may have caught it and they take 3 steps and they're losing the ball, but it's called an incomplete pass instead of a fumble. That happened to me. I think in me and Daryl's game that happened, and I think it happened in me and Jason's game too. But I hope they fix that as well.
I think they're trying to force people to use the possession catch and the rack and the aggressive. They're trying to force you to use the right type of catch in the situation. If you don't do it, I think they're trying to force it on us, to use these new features.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Like, did you all find balance in that? I know I've seen a lot of videos of those who played the game at E3 that said that the aggressive catch was a little bit overpowered. That it was something that was automatic. In you guys' experiences, excuse me, is that something that you all saw as a problem?
I did. I've been robbed by that. That cost me a game. I'm not saying no names who was in here, Dell.
Oh no.
You know
All right.
that.
I think the power.
Yeah,
Right.
he was throwing
Placed
prayers
it where it
from
should
heaven.
be.
He was throwing prayers from heaven, and they weren't being answered.
Oh man. I'm gonna disagree with you though, just too, because I kind of feel that it's something that is balanced.
Coverage, dude. I think it's going to be a
Would you say, Daryl? Say that again.
I think it's
good feeling.
Yeah, he might have got
You
disconnected.
might have lost Daryl. I see Daryl looking to the heavens right now on a still image. He might have got dropped out. I don't know. He's kind of coming back. But
There we go.
but I thought it was something that is actually a balanced feature. I mean, no, work with me here. Now, aggressive catch is something that your first off, your wide receiver has to have that attribute for him to even make that type of catch. But if he does go for the aggressive catch, he sacrifices his position, so he does have to jump or he has to leap. The yards after the catch is sacrificed, and then it's balanced, I think, also by the fact that your corners have the ability to play the receiver differently based on your position. I mean, I think there is give and take. There are some times when you see some really ridiculous catches, but there are some times when a cornerback makes a really nice play based on your decision too. So I think it's give and take.
I like the whole rock paper scissors type of style that they have there.
Right.
I had a problem with the deep pass. It's hasn't really been an issue. I've been burned a couple of times. Usually I play for receiver, and he usually knocks out the pass majority of the time. So.
The deep ball is always 50-50, especially on one-on-one situations. So, I mean, if I
That is true.
see it, I'm going to.
Yeah, I mean, 50-50 ball is 50-50. And there's at least time in this instance they kind of give you the opportunity to choose how you defend that. And maybe you choose the right, and sometimes you don't.
But
I think it'll be fun.
The only thing I say about it is some of the catches do look a little ridiculous, a little arcadey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those one-handed Jesus leaps is a little crazy.
Yeah.
But
I had one to Odell Beckham.
Oh yeah, Odell Beckham. You're right. That's all Odell Beckham's fault. That's what it is. That one-handed catch, Madden trying to make up for it.
Everybody catching passes with 3 fingers, yeah.
Oh no, right. The sticky glue catches. He caught it with 2 fingers. Oh Lord. Right. Yeah, that's a little bit wild. Didn't you guys get a chance to try out the franchise mode?
No.
No, I haven't got a chance to try it out.
Wait
Okay.
till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know that, Mark, you mentioned there were some features in the franchise mode that was different than last year's. You want to expound on that for us?
Yeah. From what I looked at some streams and did some research, they actually made a lot of changes to the scouting. I know they said that there's more that give you more upfront with things that you'll be able to see all combine stats for drafted players. And with how the scouting points work, it's kind of a use it or lose it system. You got to use them every week a certain amount, or you end up losing some of your scouting points and not be able to get more the following week. So I think they're putting a lot of emphasis in the draft system and improving that from last year.
Yeah, I think that'd be actually pretty good, for our franchise league. It should be nice. Does anybody else have anything?
Bert.
I think it's yet to be seen if I know that they've toned down, the speed and acceleration this year. I did watch the stream where a guy went a couple years into the future and players were getting drafted with still 97, 98 speed.
Oh wow, so that's
it's
not going away.
It's yet to be seen if things have been totally fixed as far as getting multiple years into a franchise. But from at face value, it looks like it's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest concern is having 6'4", 6'5" receivers and having them be 98 speed.
Yeah.
just burning every single time. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you. Especially since a lot of the the players right now don't have a lot of speed. So when you have these drafts and you have these guys coming out looking like superhumans, that kind of
Yeah.
negates the guys that are already in the league, and it makes the draft a little bit over. I don't want to say overpowered because you should focus on the draft, but these rookies shouldn't be consistently better than the veterans who are out, who are already in the league right now. So, I guess it's kind of give and take. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to add before we wrap the video up?
That's about it. Just ready for Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got
this one of the better Madden in recent history.
Yeah, and I have to agree. I have to agree with you. I know a lot of people are going to feel differently. They're looking at videos, but it's really hard to judge a Madden game by videos. I mean, I know it's hard to say that. Some people don't believe it, but you have to play the game, try it out, be open-minded. I mean, Madden is going to. I mean, it's only let's be honest here. It's the only NFL game out. So for the most part, if you want to play a football game, you got to play Madden. But Madden has done a good job to improve itself. And I think if you want to play a game this year, if you're thinking about it, I mean, give it a shot. Madden's a good shot in 16.
Oh,
Definitely take a step in the right direction.
Oh, another thing I wanted to bring out too, and it's a small detail, but if you notice, like when you throw a pass, it'll say lob pass or bullet pass, or when you're under pressure, it shows on the screen. So, I mean, that's a difference that we hadn't had in past Maddens. So.
Yeah, I had noticed that too. It kind of tells you what type of pass you did in that situation. And I even saw one time it had like a red. It shows up in red sometimes. Maybe that's because that's not the type of pass you should have thrown in that situation.
It hit. Like if you're under pressure, like it shows up red.
Right. That's a good scenario.
Like that as well, because now you can you actually see your mistakes instead of kind of like blaming it. As, I didn't do that. When you actually did, you can see it on the screen.
Right.
Yeah, the feedback's definitely there this year.
Right.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
I definitely appreciate. Thanks, Madden.
Right. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. Come and talk a little bit about Madden. That's a game that we play a lot since we're in an online league together. But I think this is something that we're going to enjoy, and I look forward to getting some more games in.
Yep, I'll be ready.
Shout out Tecmo.
Sales trainer, get
Oh yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining our video. Please check out our page. Subscribe if you have not, and look for more videos from us in the future. We're going to be doing more of these more consistently as games come out. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right,
All right, guys.
we out.